In this video, I want to explore spin entry when using less rudder than we do in training. Oftentimes in training, we use full rudder to get that spin entry. In the scenarios in this video, I'll be skidding the aircraft between about a half a ball to a full ball deflection. I'm going to use a steady bank angle, and as I introduce rudder, I'll be using outside aileron to keep that bank angle established. This is not desirable in typical flying, but I'm doing this to create a scenario that's common in base to final turns. You'll also see in some of the scenarios that I'll apply outside aileron as the wing dips into a spin entry. Again, this is not the correct way to recover from an incipient spin, but I'll do that to aggravate the spin entry. I will also recover either quickly or at various points up to about one turn. You'll observe altitude losses in each of the scenarios, and I want you to pay attention to how much altitude is lost in a quick recovery compared to a full turn recovery. For each scenario, plan on a left-hand turn that's skidding, potentially with outside aileron, and with either no power or a low approach power setting. A quick recovery may entail opposite rudder and lowering the angle of attack. Or you may see that I just lower the angle of attack immediately and never enter into a spin. Once the spin has begun, the recovery will be power to idle, ailerons neutral, opposite rudder of rotation, and then forward elevator to reduce the angle of attack. Once the rotation is stopped, then I will pull out of the dive and add power. In this scenario, I'm going to be turning left and skidding the airplane so that I get a half a ball deflection. Once the airplane brakes towards a spin, I'll do a quick recovery, reducing the angle of attack. We'll lose about 300 feet. Again, with a left turn, I'll be skidding with a half ball of deflection, but this time I'm going to have aileron towards the outside of the turn, trying to keep my bank angle steady as I increase rudder. Once I enter into the spin, I'll recover in about 2/3 of a turn, losing around 800 feet. For the remaining demonstrations, we'll continue with a left-hand turn unless I say otherwise. This next scenario will be skidding with a one-ball deflection, ailerons towards the outside of the turn, and a quick recovery with an altitude loss of about 350 feet. Again, with one ball of deflection, ailerons out, we'll enter into a spin, but this time recovery will be within about a half a turn, and the resulting altitude loss will be around 800 feet. Remaining with the one ball of skid and outside aileron, we'll enter into a spin, but this time recover in about 2/3 of a turn, which results in a little bit more altitude loss. Looks like around 825 feet. You'll notice that I'm still putting outside aileron in as the aircraft starts braking into a spin entry. Again, the wrong thing to do. This time, I'm going to bank the airplane to the right. We'll still have that one ball of skid, outside aileron, and this recovery will be in 3/4 of a turn. We're going to lose about 700 feet in this recovery. Take note that I'm still putting outside aileron in as the wing drops into the spin entry, which we don't want to be doing. Now let's take a look at an intentional spin entry as compared to the entries that we had earlier where the aircraft fell into the spin, but not necessarily what we wanted. In this scenario, we'll use full left rudder, enter into a left turning spin, and the resulting altitude loss will be about 700 feet. Now let's take a look at an intentional spin entry to the right, again with full pro spin rudder, in one turn to recover. Altitude loss will be about 700 feet. We've observed that when the critical angle of attack is reached, or the stall, a little bit of yaw contributes to spin entry. Therefore, we want to make sure that we're properly using our rudder at high angles of attack. Further, we can counter the spin entry by using opposite rudder and reducing the angle of attack. If the wing starts to dip left, we use right rudder, and if the wing dips right, we use left rudder. I hope that you found this video helpful.